Hello dear students, I would like to welcome you to our first session in Unit 2 of this course. In this video, we will deal with how to form yes-no questions. Are you ready? Let's start. So, let's begin with this question. What are the most common types of questions in English? There are two common types of questions in English, yes-no questions and WH questions. Yes-no questions are called so because the answer to these questions is usually yes or no. For example, do you like pizza? Is yes-no question because the answer to this question is yes I do or no I don't. But what is your favorite food is a WH question because there could be different answers to this question as you can see on the screen. The key for forming yes-no questions is helping verbs. You should notice that both questions and short answers depend on helping verbs, so make sure, dear students, that you can identify this before moving on. You don't need, dear students, to create questions from scratch. Instead, use the basic structure that you already know as a starting point. Here is one step. You need to turn an affirmative sentence into a question, taking the helping verb and place it at the beginning. For example, they have finished the exam. Have they finished the exam? Mary is studying right now. Is Mary studying right now? That's all, dear students. You will also need to adjust capitalization and change the end of punctuation into a question mark. But in terms of word order, all you have to do is place the helping verb at the beginning of the sentence. Okay, now you know that having a helping verb at the beginning of the sentence is a consistent feature of all yes-no questions. If you have multi-word helping verbs or more than one helping verb together, you only move the first word of it. For example, you have been listening to me. Have you listening to me? They were going to travel to Egypt. Were they going to travel? Now, you may ask, what if there was no helping verb in the original sentence? There are two variations of this. First, if the main verb was to be, then we move that to the front of the sentence. It's the only word that can act like a helping verb and the main verb at the same time. For example, Helen is a teacher. Is Helen a teacher? The movie was exciting. Is the movie exciting? But for any other main verb, we add do to the beginning. This requires the extra step of putting the main verb in its base form. Anyway, most of the time we use do, does, or did. It's because we need a helping verb and don't already have one in the sentence. For example, we say, Sammy drinks coffee daily. Does Sammy drink coffee daily? They come to school by car. Do they come to school by car? We visited this city last year. Did we visit this city last year? To conclude, we can say that the most important thing to remember about yes-no questions, other than that they end with a question mark, is that they start with some form of do, have, be, or a modal verb like can or will. The ability to correctly form yes-no questions is very important because they serve as the foundation for other questions types, such as WH questions. Alright, now let's learn how to give short answers to yes-no questions. Start with yes or no and a comma. Next comes a pronoun that reflects the original subject. And then there is the helping verb, the same one we use in the question. At this point, you can see that each question and answer pair is bookended by a helping verb. Start with does and end with does. For example, does Sammy drink coffee daily? Yes, he does. Or start with is and end with is. For example, is Helen a teacher? Yes, she is. Or start with had and end with had, and so on. Had we locked the door? Yes, we had. That is for the positive answers. But for negative answers, you still need the word not. That's pretty important, so we put that at the very end, often contracted with a helping verb. For example, does Sami drink coffee daily? No, he doesn't. Is Helen a teacher? No, she isn't. Had we locked the door? No, we hadn't. And that's how you do short answers, dear students. Dear students, that's all for now. For more information, you should review the related material on the platform, and please don't forget to do all the exercises.